This video is about the War of the Fourth Coalition. In the years 1806 and 1807, France, with the satellite states and southern German allies, fought against Prussia, Russia, the United Kingdom and Sweden. Shortly before, in 1805, there was the War of the Third Coalition. Napoleon decisively won the Battle of Austerlitz and with it the whole war. The United Kingdom and Russia were still in a state of war with France, but Russia was so weak she was barely able to launch any offensive operations. The Austrians were simply out of the equation. The Peace of Pressburg was very harsh, they lost territory, and the Austrians faced military restrictions. You can simply say Austria was not ready to go to war with France again. The main cause that led to the War of the Fourth Coalition is the Franco-Prussian relationship. The Holy Roman Empire was dissolved, and the French established the Confederation of the Rhine, which consisted of French allies and French satellite states. Having such a confederation on German soil is a clear threat to Prussia. Furthermore, Prussia lost territories, especially along the Rhine, and Napoleon told the Prussians, all right, you will probably get Hanover. But then Napoleon offered Hanover to the English king to explain the Georgian kings in the United Kingdom originate from the Principality of Hanover. So he offered Hanover to the English king in exchange for peace. And that's it. That is enough for the Prussians. They form an alliance with Russia and prepare for war. In August 1806, the Prussian army was mobilized. Furthermore, there was a Prussian ultimatum that the French forces should withdraw behind the River Rhine. That is not okay for Napoleon, and both sides moved their armies towards Thuringia. There was the decisive Battle of Jena and Auerstedt. French victory, and now means the Prussians out of the equation. Napoleon entered Berlin in triumphal march, and then he pressed on towards the east, towards the Russians. In November, he declared the Continental System. To explain, he wanted to defeat the United Kingdom by the means of economic warfare. The Continental System prohibited or forbade the European countries to trade with the UK. He reached Warsaw end of November, and that was his winter quarters. Now the campaign of 1807. Firstly, Saxony changed sides. To be elevated to a kingdom by Napoleon, they allied with the French and supported the French campaign. The French now moved north towards the Russian forces, and there was the Battle of Eylau, which was indecisive but caused severe casualties on both sides. So there was a temporary ceasefire. Both sides reinforced their armies, and then there was a decisive battle of Friedberg. Napoleon won again, and now the Russian Tsar Alexander had to make peace. This means Prussia and Russia are out of the coalition against Napoleon and France. Only the United Kingdom and Sweden remained as powers to oppose Napoleon. Russia had to become an ally of France, but they want to extend Russia wants to extend her territory, so Russia launches a war against Sweden, the Finnish War, during which she actually can or could gain Finland. Napoleon established the Duchy of Warsaw, which was good for the Polish, because after a long time they had a state again, but it's clear that is a French satellite state. For Prussia, the whole affair was very bad. She lost approximately 50% of the territory. The territories west of the river Elbe fell to the newly founded Kingdom of Westphalia, and the territories in the east, or large territories in the east, fell to the just mentioned Duchy of Warsaw. With this, Prussia temporarily lost her status as a major power, but it was clear we have to undertake deep reforms of administration, society and military, and not too many years later Prussia should return to the European theatre as a major force. What does this mean for Napoleon and France? Napoleon is now able to enforce the continental system. There's one exception, that's Portugal, which just says, right, we're an ally of the British, so we continue our trade. And that was the main trigger for the Napoleonic Wars on the Iberian Peninsula. And now Napoleon, the French Empire, on the zenith of their power. That was the War of the Fourth Coalition in 5.